Now you all did an excellent job making all that noise and applause for me before, but this is where all that applause that really counts. Let's put those hands together and welcome our stars to their stage. It's Mila and Jenna. Hi there, ladies. Now, if you see anything you like, anything at all, please be sure to show us, as we really do appreciate all of the applause. And that is perfect, just like that. Now, Mila here actually has a pretty incredible story. You see, she was a rescue animal off the coast of Southern California from a massive sea lion stranding that happened about 4 years ago. Now, that massive sea lion stranding was due to overfishing as well as climate change. A little bit more on this, the schooling fish that these guys feed off of out in the wild were drastically decreasing in numbers, while their remaining populations were swimming out into the colder, more turbulent waters which they preferred. Now, unfortunately, young sea lions like Mila, who were just about 1 year old and weaning off their mothers at the time, just were not strong enough to get those fish in those far out turbulent waters. So this unfortunately left them malnourished, dehydrated, and practically starving to death on the beaches of Southern California, which is extremely sad. But Mila was one of the lucky ones, and she was picked up by a rescue and rehabilitation center out in Santa Barbara, California, where she was nursed back to a very healthy weight. Now, Mila was deemed unreleasable by our government due to a lack of survival skills. You see, when she was given her food for the day in the presence of other sea lions, she would actually drop that food and run. She was just too timid to fight for her food. And because these guys do live in very large groups out there in nature, called rookeries, it was just decided that Mila's possibility of restraining was just too high. So it was decided she needed a forever home like ours, where she wouldn't have to worry about where her next meal was coming from. Now, folks, she is doing an excellent job. Let's give her a round of applause. This is something to celebrate. Now, 2 of our trainers actually flew out to Southern California. They got to meet and know Mila, and they flew her back here in a FedEx cargo plane. Now, of course, our trainers were worried about how she would do with this big adventure, but she did an excellent job and slept the whole way here. Now, some of the first behaviors that Mila learned were called bear husbandry behaviors. Now, that is just a fancy term for her medical behaviors. Such behaviors include receiving a simple saline solution in each one of her eyes. Now, there is nothing wrong with Mila's eyes. However, if she were to ever develop cataracts as she gets older, we could swap out that simple saline solution, much like your eye cleaner contacts with, for a medicated one, and it wouldn't be a scary thing. Mila is also trained to have each part of her body touched and looked over. Now, this comes in handy for voluntary blood draws, as well as annual vaccinations. And because Mila does play a little bit rough, it's important we're able to treat her for any cuts and scrapes she might get. But you know what, folks? This is actually going to wrap up little Mila's segment. Let's give her a round of applause and thank her for coming out here today. Excellent job, lady. Now, Mila also sees her vet once a week as well. And as you saw, she also knows some of those super fun little dance moves. Now, those just help to keep her physically and mentally stimulated. Now, you are all in for a treat. Not only did you get to meet Mila, but you'll get to meet a second sea lion superstar of our show. But first, I'll tell you a little bit more about how you can help sea lions out in nature like Mila, so we can help prevent any other massive sea lion strandings from happening out in the future. Like I said, that sea lion stranding was due to overfishing as well as climate change. So if you would like to help prevent those further massive sea lion strandings, please be sure you're always eating sustainable seafood. Now, you can check out a list of sustainable seafood at seafoodwatch.org. You can also pick up a pamphlet up at the front of our aquarium, or you can download their app on your smartphone today, so that if you do like to eat seafood, you're eating the sustainably caught fish, so that the fish that wildlife really need are out there and available for them. Also, always be sure to reduce, reuse, and recycle. A plastic bottle that could end up in our waters could take up to 450 years to break down. And while it's breaking down, marine life could mistake it for some of their food, like squid or jellyfish, or they could become entangled in it. But like I said, you were in for a treat. Not only did you get to meet Mila, but you also get to meet Bunker today. Bunker is our adult female California sea lion. She is 17 years old. She weighs in at a very ladylike 200 pounds, so she is going to need quite a lot of applause to welcome her to her stage. Let's put those hands together. Welcome, Bunker. Hi there, lady. And just like with Mila, if you see anything you like, Bunker also appreciates all of your applause. Oh my goodness, I am so embarrassed. I let Neela out and come kind of steal the show, and then Bunker came out, but I didn't even let her have a chance to say hello to Jenna yet, and that is not right. They are the best of friends. So let's pause our show and let these guys have the greeting they deserve. With a very professional flipper shake, that is very sweet, you two. It does take a lot of trust and a lot of teamwork to work with stars like Bunker. So please, if you were ever outdoors and you see any wild animal, please never approach them, as they will never respond to you as all of our animals do to their trainers. Now here at the aquarium, we know it can be a little bit difficult to tell the difference between California sea lions like Bunker and Neela, and her cousin the true seal, like the gray or harbor seals you might see at the front of the aquarium, or you may notice one of our harbor seals swimming around in our sea lion habitat. His name is Max. Please keep an eye out for him, as he does make swimming appearances throughout our show. But today with Jenna and Bunker's help, we're going to be pointing out some of the differences between the two species for you. Now the first difference can be found in their rear flippers. Now due to something called a rotatable hip bone, Bunker has the ability to tuck her rear flippers up and underneath her. Yes, Bunker, that's where those rear flippers are located. Now this rotatable hip bone makes her very mobile out here on land, allowing her to follow Jenna back and forth on stage, as well as hopping on and off those seats without a problem. Now her cousin the true seal lacks this rotatable hip bone, so when they come out on land, they look a little bit silly. Now since we moved Max to Bunker's habitat, she sees how her cousin has to get around on land. She's come up with quite the impression. So Bunker lady, when you're ready, what do you think your cousin looks like in action? That's right, like a big old fuzzy inchworm scooching around on your bellies. Let's give it up for our comedian. She's being very silly today. And as silly as Bunker is being, she is correct. When her cousin the true seal tries to walk out on land, they scooch around on their bellies with those rear flippers tucked out behind them. And the next difference can be found on their necks. Now sea lions have very long and very flexible necks. Jenna's going to show you just how long Bunker's neck is today with that target pull. Which it looks like we have impressed one person in our crowd. Oh, don't get upset, Bunker. You know we are not done showing off yet. You see, that neck is so long and so flexible, Bunker can touch her nose all the way to her back. Check this out. Now that is some crazy flexibility. I wouldn't try that one at home, folks. Now her cousin the true seal has just as flexible as a neck. It is just not nearly as long as a California sea lion's. The next difference can be found in their front flippers. Now sea lions have very large and very powerful front flippers. Bunker's giving you an excellent view of hers today. Now they use these very large and powerful front flippers to pull themselves through the water, kind of like you or I would use our arms while swimming. Now of course her cousin the true seal also has front flippers. However, they are much shorter and they use them in the opposite manner. Use them to steer themselves through the water rather than pull themselves. But Bunker is going to demonstrate just how well she can use those front flippers in the water by showing off her very graceful porpoising jumps. So you're going to see Jenna give her a hand signal and away she goes. And I have a hint for you. The louder you clap, the higher Bunker's going to jump today. Let's put those hands together and cheer her on. Excellent job, lady. Those were some beautiful jumps. Now, sea lions can actually be clocked up to 25 miles per hour, which is very impressive. Let's put those hands together and give her one more round of applause. And the final difference can be found in their ears. Now, sea lions have external ear flaps, and these external ear flaps are called pinnae. Jenna is pointing one of these out for you all today. Her cousin the true seal lacks these pinnae, and instead they just have small circular openings behind each one of their eyes. And now that you know some of these differences, please be sure to check out the habitat behind me after our show to see if you can tell the differences between Max and Bunker. But now here at the aquarium, we train our animals to keep them both mentally and physically stimulated. So Bunker learning a new behavior is kind of like us going to school and learning something new. While her more high-energy behaviors are kind of like when we go to the gym to get our exercise in. Now, Bunker's favorite way to keep physically fit is by showing off her dance moves. So what do y'all say? Do you want to see Bunker dance today? Yeah! That's what we thought. We're going to get her favorite song on. When you hear that beat, clap your hands to the rhythm. Bunker, Jenna, I hear your jam. Take it away.